Pilar. I am so excited for you. So excited.
Darren McCarty comes back with Lima in front of him. McCarty cross. McCarty in behind. Scores! And the rivers of goal. Darren McCarty.
Welcome, everybody, to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. It's Thursday, March 18th. I'm Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got DMac. To my right, we've got Maz. And we've got our guys, Fish and Art, behind the glass. Another great day. I hope everybody enjoyed, in a very safe manner, their St. Patty's Day and nobody got pinched too hard. Maz, did you get pinched for not wearing green yesterday? You should have.
I know. I was going to wear my Jets gear yesterday, and I forgot. My house is a mess right now with the bathroom demolition. Don't even get me started.
He's got an. I had my fair share of green, not in the beer wise, but I was all stocked up. Anything green, right? What about yourself?
Decked out.
Did you have a green?
Well, I had the necklace that Kathy
But did you indulge last night after the kids went to bed? Did you have a green drink? Or?
Yes, I had some Middleton Irish whiskey.
That a girl.
There
See,
you go.
that's what the listeners. That's what the viewers want to know, Pilar. That you're just one of the guys in this nicely wrapped package, but really you're slamming whiskey on St. Patty's Day.
I wasn't slamming
No,
whiskey.
I'm sorry.
I actually wanted to put
How does a responsible mother put it?
I wanted to put a little cube of ice in it because I was afraid it was going to be a little too hot. But it was, I guess, completely forbidden for you to have this particular whiskey any other way except for neat. So I tried it, and it was incredibly smooth around the lips and all the way down. So I enjoyed it neat, and it was pretty fantastic. So I hope everybody had a wonderful St. Patrick's Day and was responsible. But, Maz, let's get straight into our sports update.
You got it. My wife even made her own beer last night, green.
She did?
Actually, yep, at home. Her and my mother-in-law had a couple of green beers at home while we were eating our corned beef.
Way to
so
go, General.
we celebrate, man. We celebrate. Sports update brought to you by MyBookie. Of course, as always, don't forget to use the promo code Woodward to get your 50% bonus matched up to $1,000. It's first 4 day in the NCAA. We're starting, folks. Texas Southern, Mount St. Mary's. The Mountaineers, by the way, a 1-point favorite in this one. They'll lead it off tonight at 5-10. That's your tip-off. The winner gets Michigan. Drake, Wichita State. The Shockers, a 2-point underdog in this game. They'll tip it around 6:27. The winner plays USC. The Trojans will wait for them. App State and Norfolk State. Norfolk State, 3.5-point underdogs. They tip at 8:40. The winner gets the Zags, top-rated, at MSU, UCLA. They're making us stay up. You got to stay up late for this one. It'll get going just around 10 o'clock tonight. The Bruins, a 2-point underdog to the Spartans. So they'll tip it right around 9:57. The winner plays BYU on Saturday night. By the way, all 4 of these games played in 2 arenas. Mackey Arena, of course, the home of Purdue. That's where MSU will be. Assembly Hall will house the other 2 games. Lions are busy still. They signed former Packers backup quarterback Tim Boyle. He gets a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. He'll compete with David Blau for the backup spot behind Jared Goff. Speaking of Jared Goff, they made the deal official. The trade official today, not yesterday. You know why? Because the Rams promised to pay his bonus, which was yesterday, and that was $2.5 million. So the Lions even got that paid for. So they make the deal official today. We're going to talk about that and Matthew Stafford's goodbye or thank you to Detroit coming up as well. How about Matt Prater, top kicker, one of the best in the game, no longer a Lion. He leaves. He goes signs with the Arizona Cardinals. Matthew Wright, a guy that they signed, the Lions signed in January, former Steeler, played in a few games last year. He could be the new kicker. By the way, Kenny Golladay is still looking for a new team. Curtis Samuel, 3 years, $35 million with the Washington. Patrick Peterson going to the Vikings. Kyle Van Noy back with the Patriots. Kyle Long coming out of retirement. The old guard, he's going with Kansas City. 1 year, just $5 million. Jared Cook, 1 year with, who are they going? To the Chargers. So forget the old Raiders and Saints. He's going to the Chargers. And the Raiders might cut Marcus Mariota. They cannot come to an agreement. We'll see how that shakes. And this just down, Mitch Trubisky to the Bills. We'll tell you more about that coming up. Off day for the Tigers. They get the Jays tomorrow. And the Wings host the Stanley Cup runners-up, the Dallas Stars, tonight at Little Caesars Arena. We'll have Darren's 3 keys to a victory. And we take you back to 1995. 26 years ago today, Michael Jordan was in the news.
Hey, Mikey, we like it. Not a huge surprise, but clearly one of the great comebacks since Burt Reynolds' hairline. It came in a 2-word statement, which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it. Quote, unquote, "I'm back." That's all Jordan said on Saturday. That was really all Jordan needed to say as his 17-month retirement came to an end. He will be back on Sunday when the Bulls play the Pacers, and probably not so coincidentally, the game is on national TV. The Bulls arrived in Indianapolis on Saturday night, and while Michael Jordan was not on the team charter, he will be there by game time, and that makes Phil Jackson happy.
We're all very happy about this. We think it's going to be great for our basketball club. We hope expectations, which are going to be high, aren't overreaching for what we have as a basketball club. We're just glad he's getting back on the court.
I'm happy that he's back. I think he's going to add a lot to the NBA, especially in the playoffs. I think he's back because he was missing competition, and he's ready to go again. But I don't think, in my mind, I don't favor them to win it.
We feel we have the best record in the world, and we're going to try to keep going and get to the finals. However they handle their team, that's their own business. Welcome him back, but we don't concern ourselves.
I love Charles Barkley. Still love him. Love him more
that
than
who it
ever.
was?
That was
half
Chuck.
of Charles now.
That was Chuck.
Be nice.
The Chuck wagon. And they didn't win that year, the Bulls, as you know, but they did win the following year. And you can watch the Last Dance for more on that. So that's it, folks.
It was good to have him back. You know what else is back, my friends? It's official, March Madness, and I hope everybody has gone to our website, woodwardsports.com, and filled out their brackets to have a shot at having our friends over at Hall Financial pay off their mortgage up to $500,000. It is free. All you have to do is go to our website, woodwardsports.com, fill out what you think is going to be the perfect bracket. If you get the perfect bracket, well, then they will pay off your mortgage up to $500,000. If not, that's cool. They still have some really great prizes. And more importantly, you can play against us.
Yeah.
Now, Maz, DMac, did you guys fill out your perfect bracket? You have until noon tomorrow to do this, so you still have time. Go do this. Did you guys fill out your perfect bracket? DMac's got his.
I did.
I'm locked and
Maz,
loaded.
do you have
locked
yours?
and loaded. I sure do.
I have got mine.
I almost know it by heart.
And you can't,
Yeah,
you
it's
can't
easy,
see
Maz.
it.
You go 1-1-1, 1-1-1-1.
No, 1-1-1-2.
If you're Maz.
1-1-1-2.
You got somebody other than Michigan, Pilar?
I was going to say, you can't see it, and I wish we could have zoomed in, but I don't know if on the website, and maybe y'all can help me on this, on the website, you have to have like your username so you can see who our picks are. I'm not sure if you can. I got to go in there and snoop around a little bit more. But shockingly, no, I do not have Michigan winning the whole thing.
Wow.
I know. When it comes to things, and I don't even think we can win anything, but I'm very competitive. And so when it comes to anything that I can win or lose, I want to win. And just, I'm afraid that with all the injuries right now with Michigan that I can't, they lost their best player. So unless he comes back, I'm going to go Illinois. Winning the whole
You know
thing.
what? I like your style because that's my, if Michigan does, and that's my other bracket.
So I'm hoping that we have a little bit more news before 12 o'clock tomorrow, because then I'll go in there and change things. But Maz, who do you have winning this whole thing?
I got Michigan, and I'm not because I'm a homer. I truly believe in this team. I picked them early in the year. I bet them when the bets came out, when my bookie came out, and here we were able to bet here in Detroit. I put a couple of dollars on them. I'm sticking with Juwan Howard and the Maize and Blue.
I hope you're right, because nothing is more exciting in my household than when Michigan wins anything. So go Blue. I hope you're right, and I hope we have some more information on injuries.
I got
for
them against
Michigan.
Illinois, and I got Ohio State and Gonzaga and the other two. So we'll see how that goes.
But how about today, the playing games or
Yeah.
whatever? It's perfect because this is Detroit sports fan, a little iota. But why? Because after I'm done here spending a great time with you beautiful people out there and you beautiful people in here, I get to go down and do the Wings game. They play Dallas. 7:30 game, Maz, 9:57 tip-off tonight.
I know, it's
Might
perfect
put
timing.
me Perfect timing,
Perfect.
right in front. You know,
Just watch it at Little Caesars.
I know.
Right.
I'll be around the corner, either MGM or Motor City, I'm sure.
That's
so,
good.
but we're gonna watch them. But this is the ones, and this got me thinking a little bit too. Don't you love those? That's what Wings playoff hockey is all about to me, especially when Tiger baseball season, the double dipper.
Absolutely.
So anytime we can double dip during the day, this is a little special treat. So hopefully the Wings can lead it off, and I'll get to that with my 3 keys later on in the show. But I like these days when there's something, and I'll probably, we're old, Maz. I'll probably fall asleep during the
It better be a good
game
game.
and,
It better
and
be
be
good.
looking at my phone to see what's going on. But
I'll keep you awake. I'll keep texting you. I'll keep texting.
I know you will.
All right, well, let us know who it is that you guys think is going to win the whole tournament. Make sure that you are going to woodwardsports.com and filling out your bracket, but hit us up on our social media. You can hit us up on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever you would like at Woodward Sports. And of course, make sure that you are downloading our app. You can have it on the Apple phones. You can have it on Androids. We're everywhere. Just Woodward Sports Network. When we come back, our guest is going to be Tim McCormick. So if you have any questions for him, hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. But we're definitely going to be diving into some more of the NCAA with him. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys. And ladies, this is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. So before our break, we were talking about the NCAA tournament because it is finally here. And what's more exciting is that people can actually, one, we're going to have a tournament, and two, people are actually able to still go to the games, but they're not allowing them to be at full 25% capacity. Some are doing 3% capacity. Some are doing a little bit more as the stadiums are getting bigger. But, Maz, what do you see in store for today?
Well, I love these games. As a matter of fact, I wish I was in Indianapolis today or in Indiana. Bloomington will have 2 games at Assembly Hall. They'll have the early game, Texas Southern and Mount St. Mary's, and then the Drake-Wichita State game. That'll be next, but that one's going to be at Mackey Arena in Purdue. Following that game, of course, will be Michigan State at Mackey Arena against UCLA, and App State, Norfolk State will get rolling at Assembly as well. So, when I was a kid, I used to go, not to the NCAAs, because the NIT was big in New York back then. The NIT was at Madison Square Garden. It was the Final Four always. My dad and I would go to a lot of them. And I remember seeing Indiana and UCLA play against each other in the finals. I saw Michigan win at Madison Square Garden. I'll tell you how old I am. They had a game called the Consolation Game. So when it got down to the Final Four, whoever lost the 2 games would play the early game on that Monday night at 6:30 in the Consolation Game, and then the final game would be for all the marbles at NIT. And they used to do that in the NCAA back in the 70s as well. Whoever lost the Final Four would play that next Monday night. They'd lead off at 6 o'clock, and then the big game, of course, would come on at about 8:30. Now it's 9:30. They just keep pushing it down. But I love these games, and each game here, it's 3 points is like the highest spread. There's a 3, there's a 2, there's a 1.5. These games are dead even. These are teams, a couple of 16 teams playing. This is their championship because they know they're not going to beat a number 1 more than likely.
I don't care who you are. This is one of the greatest times of the year because these are when you see these kids making unbelievable moments for themselves. I mean, you can go back to the big moments that we know about, like Duke and Christian Laettner, but we mentioned the other day Jordan Poole hitting that 3 with the split-legged 3 at the buzzer. But these are what memories are made of for some of these kids that don't go on for a basketball career. So it's unfortunate in a sense that they won't get the full experience with the full crowds, but I think with everything going through, the more important is how are they going to keep it safe and what are the protocols, and is one of the teams or any of the teams going to fall victim to this pandemic at all. And that'll be interesting because that's the one thing is that it's one thing to put everything you've got into something and come up short, but hey, it wasn't your path and you've done everything that you wanted. And then it's another one when it's been taken away from you and you don't really know. So hopefully everything works out. And it's at the end of the day, to me, it's these moments. It's watching Maz's play of the day or whatever, and the kid throwing the half-yard shot or hitting it at the buzzer. Or
wait till you see my next one.
Okay.
Wait till you see my next. This thing. So, matter of fact, our Nick Leach that works here, real good kid. We got so many great kids here. Art's great, Easy. We got Mike the intern, Nick Leach, of course, Fish. All these kids, they go to work. They put all this stuff together. Here's a little quick montage for Michigan and Michigan State fans to get your juices going.
This is the second. Texas will have a chance to tie or win it with a 3. Taylor attacks, floats, even at 72. 2.7 left. Last chance for the Panthers.
And he said he wouldn't take a timeout in this situation.
Jesperson, half-court heave for the win. Jesperson does it. Wins it at the buzzer. 75-72.
That's my this day in sports for later. So you got a sneak peek.
Yeah, well,
that was great. Paul Jesperson, and he's on Twitter, by the way, and he gets hit up on that play a lot. This kid from Northern Iowa.
Yeah, but
right.
the whole question to me is the Texas kid, is he like, oh man, I should have took the 3 like Michigan did the other day and then gone down burning or not? But those are the moments like that.
But I do have that. Do we have that Michigan State montage? I gave it to Easy. Okay, so when Easy comes back, we'll play that one. But
yeah, we'll
feel free.
Play
we'll
it
get
later.
you going, Michigan State fans.
Speaking of the Michigan State, who do you think is going to pull this off? DMac, Michigan State or UCLA? That's supposed to be a really good game.
Here's the thing, right? And I've said it all along. Michigan State, to me, is Jekyll and Hyde. And it's more of this one of the things our guest coming up, the great Wolverine himself, Tim McCormick, to ask him is that I see it's a maturity issue between what I see out of the Wolverines and then what do I see out of the Spartans. And it's not immaturity by the Spartans, but they're just sort of in middle school, whereas the University of Michigan's more in the high school level as far as pressure, how to take it, what they're going to come out with. Now, State could come out and blow out UCLA tonight, but what worries me is how they play against the UCLA team, which is known for being big guys down low, scoring inside the paint, which has hindered Michigan State this year, and we all know that if anybody can go cold shooting, this Sparty team can. So Tom's done everything he can. I think Izzo, it'll be interesting to ask him after, is it, he loves these kids so much, but is it the most frustrating year, not just because of COVID, but because of the inconsistency? So it's playoff time, and you got to rise, cream rises to the top. So hopefully we'll Sparty on tomorrow.
I'm definitely looking forward to that game. All right, so it looks like we do have this clip, so we're going to go ahead and play it for you.
6 left. Draymond Green finds Lucius for the win. He got it! Spartans move to the Sweet 16. They will have to check the clock to make absolutely certain. I don't know that Tom Izzo, and he is hugging Kalen Lucas right now. 3-point game. Sport pulls it down. 5 seconds. Fires for 3.
That wasn't a gimme basket either. That was a Steph Curry probably came out of his chair for that one.
Yes.
But that's and that's the thing too these days. Obviously, we talk about all the sports and how they've all evolved and how it's not the game we used to play. But you look at all the kids before. When I was growing up, it was all about the dunk. Now it's all about shooting from across the yard and stuff. So these shots that from half court, or these shots that we just watched, Northern Illinois kid, what was his name?
Paul Jesperson.
Paul Jesperson, the Jess.
How do you not know Paul Jesperson?
The Jesper. He throwing it like that. But today's day and age, that's more of a free throw for kids these days.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see in this whole tournament how many big plays like that.
I'd like the NBA to come out with a 4-point play. For the Steph Curry shots. I really
They do that in the big. They do that in Ice Cube's.
The big three?
The big three, they do have a 4-point shot.
I like
you
that.
You can't have, no, man.
I like it.
Too Mickey Mouse.
Bring it on.
I don't. I mean, that
Mickey
really
Mouse.
messes things up when things are like down to the wire. It makes the game just so much more fun to watch when it's down to the wire. And you're like, oh my gosh, this is a 2-pointer, 3-pointer. I think is fair, but then an even number. Then you have to get 2 more shots, and you can come back.
And if you foul them on a
3 points.
4-pointer, you get a 5-point shot.
Oh,
I think it's great.
The interesting question is: anybody ever wondered though? Because this is deeper into the thought. Is like we watched that Texas clip. The kid drove in, took the 2 because he's supposed to maybe draw the foul.
Yeah.
Whatever, doesn't do that. He does everything right by the book. Is he scratching his head? I'd like to ask him, whatever his name is should he have taken the 3? Does he look back and say, I wish I would have gone down with the ball in my hand? And there's so many other guys around at different times. That's a question that keep in mind, Maz, because we run across it. Right?
I'm sure he does. I'm sure everybody. It's in life. You always think like, oh, should I just done things different?
I disagree, Pilar, because some people don't want the ball.
You don't want the responsibility?
Right, because that's the whole thing. Is it better to take the safe, like that way, to do the right thing, and that thing that doesn't really happen that often, guys scoring from half court. But I'm saying because some people don't want the responsibility of being blamed or of being the blame,
the reason why
they
the
didn't
fault,
win or
the
whatever.
GOAT.
Right?
But real champions take the blame either or.
Yeah,
want the ball.
I feel like if you feel in your gut you have a shot and you give it your all, then you do it. I mean,
LeBron was
anything
known
could
for
be.
not wanting to take that last shot.
Well, I'm just saying it's a question to ask, and it's not wanting to or not. I just wondered that it would be if I had the option. You know, if the kid didn't have the option, the coach said drive, there's no question. But if he did have the option, does he look back? It's just
He did what he had to do. He
he
got
did the right
he got the
thing.
game tied. Yeah.
I'm just asking if he's out there. I don't know what his name is, or anybody like him. Has anybody out there ever had the opportunity to make a putt or the last shot or something like that didn't didn't mess up, but it didn't work out? You know, like in golf, it can happen sometimes too. You know, you 2-putt, you don't think the guy's gonna make the long putt, and he makes the long putt, and it ends up costing you. So
No, I think it happens all the time, especially in all sports. I mean, in high school sports and younger generation sports, it happens all the time too. But I think you see it a lot more in the younger generation sports, like with the kid sports, because they're the ones who are a little bit more afraid of the criticism. I think at a professional level, you're like, listen, I'm a pro. I'm doing what I thought.
Thinking about it. Tell you the truth, I don't think kids even thinking about it.
I think it's the other way around, Pilar.
Yeah,
really?
Kids
You
think
think?
about it, and I think that professionals think about it because now you're messing with their livelihood.
Have you ever watched
you-
8-year-olds play basketball? You watch they're just chucking it up from anywhere they could, as long as they can reach the basket.
But
they're
that's
putting it up.
That's 8-year-olds. I'm talking about like middle school, high school, where it's like that lays really heavy on them, and they're young, they're immature, they don't really know how to just shake things off. But DMac, have you ever had a situation like that you look back and are like, gosh?
No, because that's why I always lived, and this is what I had to learn how to temper but I never lived by what ifs.
That's smart.
No, I'd never lived by what ifs. I mean, the best what if I knew I was going to the third rehab, so I went on Ozfest and roadied for Zach Wild and Black Label and System of a Down for 2 weeks. So that was great.
That was your hurrah, last hurrah.
For that run,
particular time.
For that run, but
That's like people that go on diets. They're like, all right, let's just go out tonight.
Well,
hit
that's
that
the whole
buffet.
thing. But it's tempering the what if. So as long as you put everything in, what do you put in to get out? And that's the one thing is that I can always accept. So is if you've done that. So, but I know some people, like Maz said, is that are LeBron or whatever, don't want that shot or prefer not that shot for whatever reason. But I think it's more your makeup.
It's nerve-wracking.
But you're a race car driver, so you don't count. You know what I mean?
No,
like your
I
mentality, like I said, you're sipping whiskey neat on a friggin' on St. Patty's Day, and climbing up hills, figuring out, I might not want to do this
And
anymore.
off-road vehicles, yeah. But I mean, there was a point though, and that's different though. When you're racing a car, I feel like you're just in a completely different mentality. You're not really thinking about who's watching or not watching. You're not thinking about anything else other than the road in front of you and what's going on, and that's it.
Because
you
you're
don't
going
have time.
120 miles an hour, 150 miles an hour. You got nothing else to think about.
You don't have a chance to think about anything else. So, all right, my friends, let us know. Have you ever been put in that position? Hit us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. And what would you do? Would you take the shot? Would you not take the shot? Do you like to play it safe, or do you like to go for it? Leave everything out on the court. When we come back, our friend Tim McCormick will be joining us, so do not go anywhere. We'll be right back on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Hey guys, DMac here, GrowGreenMI.com. Grow Green, the country's largest hydro store, buys in bulk and passes the savings on to you, the growers. Looking for soil, they have over 1,000 pallets in stock, including Pro Mix, Dairy Dew, Roots Organics, and Fox Farm, all at the lowest prices in the state. Check out their dank deals for insane deals like bags of Ocean Forest for $8 and gallons of Turpinator for just $50. Mention Woodward Sports or The Hook and get a free t-shirt. Click GrowGreenMI.com. Tell them DMacs sent you.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. I'm Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got DMac. To my right, we've got Maz. And, of course, we have got Fish and Art behind the glass helping us out today. Make sure that you are hitting us up on our social media at Woodward Sports. Let us know your thoughts. Before the break, we were talking about, would you take that shot? Or would you play it safe and give the ball to somebody else coming down to the wire, the buzzard? What would you do? We're getting a lot of people that are saying
the buzzard instead of bird.
The
buzzer.
Oh, the buzzer. All right, listen. Spanish.
No, I wouldn't have called you.
English is my
last week. I saved myself. Hey. I got you now.
Listen, English is my second language, so if I say things like buzzard as opposed to what is it?
How do you say buzzer in Spanish?
Buzzer. I mean, it would be like this is what. No, we don't have buzzard. It would
you don't
be
have
like
horn buzzer, like the horn buzzer.
Yeah, I mean, no, we don't have like the buzzer.
What do you call
we
a buzzard?
Say it like,
what do you call the buzzard? The bird then?
A buzzard is a bird?
Yeah. The buzzard's like a vulture.
Oh, well, we'd say pájaro.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a pájaro.
But no,
I like that.
The other thing I used to say a lot, and I had no idea, is when my mom. She speaks English perfectly fine, but it has a very heavy accent. And so she'd be like, Mija, go get your tennis shoes. And she, I think, was saying tennis shoes. But my entire life, we grew up hearing tennis shoes. So then one time I said something about, like, I'm going to go put on my tennis shoes. And my husband was like, tennis shoes or tennis shoes?
You know what tennis shoes is in New Jersey?
Shoes.
Tennis shoes in New Jersey is called sneakers.
Sneakers
I've never heard anything
tennis.
The only time you wear tennis sneakers is when you play tennis. I don't understand the language here in Michigan. I still to this day, pop over soda? No. It's soda.
Yeah.
It's pop.
It's soda.
It's pop.
That's another
Do you
one.
ask for an ice cream pop or do you ask for an ice cream soda?
Ask for a pop.
No.
It's a soda.
It's not a purse. It's a pocketbook. It's a pocketbook.
It's a purse.
I'm just these are New Jersey stuff.
My bag is a purse, but it's not a pocketbook.
It was a pocketbook in Jersey, and
that's a really big pocketbook. It doesn't fit in my pocket.
The nylons, what you guys used to call them nylons, they're stockings in New Jersey. So
I call them pantyhose.
Either way you put it, Pilar, you gotta. It's all about beating the buzzard. Or the buzzard. Or the buzzard.
The buzzard. What do you call it? The
Pájaro. Didn't you just say, listen, I am so happy that we've got Tim McCormick because I feel like you guys are picking on me.
Is Tim on?
Yes, we do have Tim. Tim McCormick. Thank you.
You saved Pilar, Tim. You saved her.
Yes.
Sorry about the delay.
That's okay, man.
You're all right.
Everything cool?
There.
No.
Wait, Tim, can you actually turn the phone sideways so we can get you all the whole? There you go.
Looking good, my man.
There you go. All right. Well, welcome to the show, Tim. Thanks so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you. Tim, I guess my big question right now is, What is going on, and how do you think this whole COVID thing is going to affect the big tournament, the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, I hope there's no effect. And it's my favorite month of the year. And what we're seeing is that I just feel like the NBA has set such a great standard, and the NCAA has unbelievable restrictions. It's very much like the Orlando bubble last summer. The NCAA is going through the same thing. And I was mentioning the other day that, let's say, for instance, Michigan goes to the Final Four. If you include the Big Ten tournament, they will be there for 26 straight days. And just imagine, sometimes when you're on the road and you're in a hotel for 2 or 3 days, you get a little stir crazy. Imagine being in a sterile hotel room. You probably got a roommate. There's clothes all over the place, video games. I just think that it's so unprecedented, and I'm so anxious for it. Not only are the players isolated, I think that's a real tough one from a mental wellness standpoint. But I also think that the players and the fans alike are so anxious because we missed out last year.
Oh, absolutely.
Tim, Darren McCarty, thank you for joining us here on The Hook. Big fan as always. But obviously talk about these Michigan Wolverines, because I look at what you said about the mentality and the mental toughness this year for somebody to go deep in the tournament to even win it. I look at this Michigan Wolverines team and what Juwan Howard's done, and it's not about the wins and losses. It's about the mentality this team has going into the playoffs. So the Big Ten championship didn't go the way they wanted, obviously, but how does this team look to you going into this tournament?
Well, if you could tell me Isaiah Livers is going to play, I'd feel a lot better.
Well, we all would.
We all would.
They're so connected on defense. That's their number one strength. And they've got a true inside-outside presence with Hunter Dickinson in the paint. I think they've got plenty of role players. There's just going to be a time where I believe that Franz Wagner, who, just like his brother, has star power, and his brother took Michigan to a Final Four, and now's the time for Franz to stand up and be the best player in the building each and every game. He's so good defensively, and he has some alpha dog in him. So I think he's the most important guy, but they've got plenty of depth, and they have other guys that have star power as well. So matchup-wise, I like it. I think that St. Bonaventure will beat LSU. I've broadcast St. Bonaventure 3 times already, and I know them well. And so you get by the first weekend. I'm just I didn't go to med school, but in the back of my mind, I feel like there's still a chance that Isaiah Livers could come back and play.
Timmy McCormick joins us, former number 1 pick in the NBA, played for Michigan, of course. Fox Sports Detroit, ESPN. Hey, Fox Sports Detroit is going to be Bally Sports Detroit. I want to tell you about that another time, but that's going to be the new name of it. But Timmy, I love this team. I love their grit. I love how they came back against Ohio State. No Livers, Wagner on the bench, fouling out. They should have won that game. I didn't love the last play, but I understand they took out Dickinson out of that play. Good defense by Ohio State. I think 3 Big Ten teams can make the Final Four. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I look at Ohio State and Purdue as wild cards. Illinois is the favorite for sure, and a lot of people have them penciled into the Final Four. They had some bad losses this year, Penn State, Michigan State, a couple of others. So they do take a few nights off, but Illinois has been rock solid the last 3 weeks. I think that Illinois is by far the best Big Ten team. I would put Michigan there if Livers was playing. But beyond that, I really like E.J. Liddell in Ohio State. I think they defend hard. They know who the man is. Dwayne Washington is a pure scorer. And so I think that 3 out of 4 is a little bit high, but I do expect the Big Ten to show well.
Tim McCormick joins us here on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network. How about the Spartans tonight against UCLA? This is a play-in game. First of all, do you think it's an insult that they're in the play-in game? And secondly, who do you like in this game, Tim?
Well, first of all, I don't think they should call it a play-in game because everybody says that Michigan State is in. So I think it should be the first-round game or something else. UCLA has really good guards, and Michigan State has been really inconsistent with their play. I think Aaron Henry will be in the NBA next year, and Rocket Watts has all Big Ten potential, even though he's gone through a tough stretch this year. You know, one of the things about Michigan State is that their profile was so knocked down because of the fact that they went through that horrible stretch right out of COVID. And, you know, Darren can probably really relate to this. An athlete's body is their vehicle. And when something happens to a car, it doesn't drive as well. And I just feel like everybody was impacted in different ways by COVID. And you saw some players that clearly had a tough time with it because their bodies took a long time to get back. So when Michigan State came off their COVID, unlike Michigan didn't have any problems when they came right back. They went right to Madison and beat Wisconsin bad. None of Michigan's players during their pause actually had the virus. Michigan State, on the other hand, I think their whole team basically had it. So that's part of the reason Michigan State's profile was knocked down. I do think that they're a good team. I think Michigan State will beat UCLA. BYU might be a little bit more difficult. So I have Michigan State winning one and losing one.
That's what I personally like to hear. I don't want to see Michigan State getting too far. But Tim, can we go back to something you've said, and with Livers and his foot injury, you hope to see him back, but you don't really think he's coming back. In the Detroit Free Press, they said nobody's expecting him to come back, but everybody still feels if he does, it's going to be a miracle. But it sounds like you've got Illinois then moving into the big championship. Do you have any hope, or do you feel we should all just move forward with the fact that Isaiah Livers is not going to be coming back?
No, I think you should have hope. And actually, towards the end of my career, I broke my foot. But the experience that I had is I played for about 2 weeks with it, where I knew it wasn't right. It was really sore, and eventually it broke. But that's not how things were for Isaiah. He kept playing, and even the last game, he looked like he was moving okay, not great. And so I think that rather than a full stress fracture, he had a stress reaction. And once again, no med school, but from personal experience, I just have hopes that they're able to, for a good 2 full weeks, get a lot of treatment, a lot of ice, stay off of it, compression, the whole bit, and then give it a shot. And they already did pretty darn well with Eli Brooks. You know, they made it seem like he would never ever play again. And then all of a sudden, he had a really good game last outing. I have the same hopes for Isaiah.
Awesome. Tim, I was wondering if you could for a minute, and from your perspective, because I always love it from either guys around the game or guys that have played, but Juwan Howard's impact and just what he's done at Michigan, I always try to relate it to that. I can see that he's brought this NBA more mentality and culture, and you can see what he's learned under Spoelstra and under Pat Riley. What have you noticed as an analyst, as an NBA player, not as a doctor, because you're 2 of the 3. So what has impressed you the most?
So, Darren, one of the things that I enjoyed about your championship teams is that there was a clear culture, and everybody knew it. There was accountability, and there was a synergy. Everybody knew exactly what the goal was. And I played for Pat Riley with the Knicks, and so I know how important culture is to him. And Juwan was on his staff. Juwan played for him. He was under Juwan when he was in an administrative role as the team president. And so from day one, Juwan has built a culture where everybody is moving in the same direction. And I also think that culture is one of the most overused words in sports. Every new coach that takes over says we want to establish culture, but they don't walk the walk, and it doesn't really seem real, and it never happens. With Juwan Howard, he's built a real culture.
Well, here's the thing, too, though, Timmy, is that whose mouth does it come out of? Because Juwan Howard's been there, and if I talk about culture, it's the same thing as where you've walked and the places that you've walked in. It's like a lot of people use that lightly with nothing behind it, but you nailed it on the head because it's about accountability. And then, to me, that's what I see that the Wolverines basketball program has that the football program doesn't. So, but that's another conversation.
True. Very true.
Hey, Tim, I wanted to ask you about the Pistons. I watched them last night. Again, I'm enjoying this team. I love you on the broadcast, by the way. How about Sadiq Bey? A double-double for this guy. He's like a man-child. This guy could be an all-star pretty quickly. And tell us about the whole Piston rebuild.
Plum dog.
You know,
Plum dog
he's a beast, man. What do you take on this team?
So when I look at their roster, last year there were 22 players that wore the Pistons red, white, and blue over the course of the year. Sekou Doumbouya is the only guy left. I've never seen a pro sports roster demolished in 1 year so thoroughly. I give Troy Weaver a lot of credit, their GM. He has a vision, and he got rid of everybody that didn't fit it. He's eliminated the bad contracts. He got rid of the older players. Guys that didn't fit his system are no longer here. And so I like their team. Whereas last year I thought that the Pistons were offensively challenged and they did not pass the ball very well, and it was a stagnant, boring type of team to watch. This team plays hard, man. They get after it. They're aggressive. They pass the ball. I like their offense a lot better. And there's plenty of nights where I think, oh my gosh, where's the defense? But that's what happens when you've got, get this, 10 players that are under 24 years of age. Ooh. That's unheard of in the NBA. Only Minnesota is younger, and by the trade deadline, it wouldn't surprise me if the Pistons passed them.
Oh my God! Last thing before we let you go, I want your Final Four and your champion.
Yeah, so like everybody, it seems like Gonzaga and Butler are the obvious choices. I've got a couple of extra ones. I've got West Virginia. Really like their toughness, and they've always been good defensively, but now they can shoot the ball too. And if I knew Isaiah Livers was going to be playing, I would pick Michigan, but I don't think he will. So I've got Florida State.
Wow.
Florida State.
So to win the whole thing, who do you have?
I've got
Illinois?
Gonzaga.
The Zags?
Yeah, I got Gonzaga. You know what? It's one of those things like you could pick Gonzaga to lose, but then you just hate yourself the whole rest of the tournament when they don't. So I self-preservation, that's how I made my picks this year.
Hey, I lied, Tim. I got one more thing for you. Juwan Howard against Mark Turgeon. Who do you got in a street fight? No, honestly, between those two guys, what do you think really happened?
With who?
Mark Turgeon against Juwan Howard. Maryland against Michigan in that Big Ten, one of those last games in the Big Ten. It was in the tournament.
I saw Chris Hunter and Jay Smith do everything in their power to try to hold him back, and thank God for Mark Turgeon that he did. That would have been one of the most massive mismatches that we've ever seen. I think that there's just some competitiveness, and there's some trash talking that went over regarding Hunter Dickinson's recruit. Dickinson went to DeMatha, which is 3 miles from Maryland's campus. He was a little bit mad, and on the way to 28 points in the first meeting, he gave Turgeon a dirty look every time he scored a bucket, and so I think that's probably where it started.
There it is. There it is, man.
There it is.
Thanks, Timmy.
Yes. Tim McCormick, everybody. Thank you so much, Tim, for joining us. It was a blast having you on. When we come back, Matthew Stafford's thank you, not goodbye to Detroit. So don't you guys go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Welcome to Crumble Cookies! It is Joey from Woodward Sports, and this is my new favorite spot where I like to spend my time because they have the best cookies I've ever had in my entire life, and you won't regret coming here and trying them. Located off of Rochester Road, right next to the Imagine Theaters in Rochester Hills, it's Crumble Cookies. Come try these delicious cookies. They even got their own app. They got curbside pickup. They got delivery. You won't regret it. Just come try for yourself. You'll thank me later. I promise.
That commercial always gets me starving, Joey. March Madness is here, folks, and my bookie's offering a shot at a share of $10,000 with the My Bracket contest, and it only costs you a single dollar. NBA tipping off, NHL, you got college basketball, you got UFC, you got anything you want. You can bet parlays, straight. They got all kinds of great prop lines and bets at MyBookie. Do yourself a favor and get a head start by signing up with the promo code Woodward, and they'll match your first deposit halfway up to $1,000. That's free cash credited right to your account. Do whatever you want with it. Best part is you always have access to the action, whether you're at home or on the go, the website, online, or on your phone at mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Woodward. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. Oh, my goodness, my friends, it was official. Yesterday, we got a brand new quarterback here in Detroit. Jared Goff became our quarterback for the Lions. Matthew Stafford became the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams. And in a very classy way, Matthew Stafford said thank you, not goodbye, to everybody here in Detroit.
It's not QB1 no more? I can change his phone number. I
It's
can change
official.
his phone number to J Goff instead of Q. Hold on.
Yeah, change that number.
QB1. Okay, but just in case,
Stop
in case
it.
he's upstairs.
You like why they did that deal today instead of yesterday?
Because of the signing bonus.
Because the
signing
Rams
bonus.
paid that $2.5 million.
Okay, so let's break this down just a little bit before, sorry to interrupt, Pilar, but because this is important, where we talked about yesterday about this regime and what do you see different, and you're talking about us doing Patriot things, what the Patriots used to do to us. We talked about Michael Brockers, who I read today, who's the defense, right? Not only signed long-term deal, which means culture, which means you're bringing somebody in that you're going to establish and stuff like this. And, by the way, we'll make that trade in those first rounders and all that, but the day after, you're going to pay him that little 2.5, right? Because we're going to save that, and we're going to pay somebody else that money that would have gone there.
We're big time
It's
now.
frivolous. That little money that you save is so huge when it comes down to it. And like you mentioned before, you look at all the guys that are getting either released or guys, Marcus Mariota in Vegas, right? Not restructuring his deal. You know, it's different things like this. So kudos to Brad Holmes.
Amen.
All right, guys, let's get to this video clip that we have of Matthew Stafford. I think it's so classy that he did this.
About how it all started.
Yeah. I love the Pee Wee games into the high school games.
Stafford rolls to his right on the run.
It was nice that he just put so much thought into this.
Stafford wants to go for it all right here. He throws to the end zone.
Really told
the Lions helped them put this together, of course.
Going to go to the NFL and then see what that has for me. It's been a lifelong dream for me.
With the first pick in the 2009 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Matthew Stafford.
This city welcomed me with open arms. I'm talking about Detroit.
Sometimes I forgot he was the very first pick in the draft. Sometimes I forget about that.
The history.
What, is that good or bad?
People.
Well, he's been with Detroit for so long.
I'm proud to say this is where I started my
NFL The one thing Matthew Stafford
I guess you could say
is going to be remembered in this town, trust me, not because of his career, but because of his philanthropy, because of what he experienced. I watched this, and everything you see is who he is as a person.
Right.
But this is, right, exactly. The husband and father
This I
part.
love.
It's
I
not
love the
about the
girls
winning
running
the
up to him.
games.
This is so sweet.
Because you got to understand. Dude, he almost lost his wife almost died
I know.
with 3 young kids and stuff like that, Pilar. You're one that could relate more to that.
Lions fans hearing this, there is no
And the
me
way that,
without you.
so no one understands the relationship. I might have a little bit of an understanding going through personal battles with the Wings organization, how important they are. So this is more for him, I guess. This isn't about football to me. This is about the person.
Right. I mean, I feel like his whole family has been through so much here. And
But it makes you part of the culture.
For sure.
And it's not about winning games at the end of the day. It's you look at what he's done beyond the charity work and stuff, but putting money back into the city, and that's don't talk about it, be about it. That's love.
Right.
You know the cool thing about this, and some people missed the boat on this. The video was 9 minutes long to the penny for number 9. 9 minutes for number 9. People are like, 9 minutes for him? 9 minutes? But that's why they did it. It's exactly 9 minutes long.
I didn't even think of that. I just felt that that's how long it took him to express his thank yous.
Look at him.
And
He's going to fake it here.
You know, you look at all this and just what a great figure he was to the city of Detroit, all the philanthropy that he's done for the city of Detroit.
Here's Joy.
But yet, never once did we vote him into the Pro Bowl.
You kept cheering through the tougher
Not once.
He got in as a sub, I think.
Some of my lowest points.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
he's
but
never.
who's he playing against?
Oh.
Look who he's up against in
I
the
know, but-
division. You got Breeze, you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Russell Wilson. I get it, but
Yeah.
it's more to the argument will always be, is it?
Here's the highlight of his whole career here in Detroit.
Absolutely.
This is it. The Cleveland Browns game in his rookie season.
Yeah, but that's just.
Oh.
Brandon Pettigrew.
He caught one.
There's another pick that we wasted.
Well.
Oh, Maz.
I'm sorry, I can't. I just. Oh, I
You
look at
can't
this.
see the
This is-
glorious moments of
This is a
that.
carnival of errors I'm looking at. That's what. That guy's pretty good.
Anquan Bolton?
Oh, I love
Calvin?
having Anquan.
Calvin.
Oh, Calvin Johnson. I thought
Did you see what? You see Golden Tate what he wrote about? He tweeted this video out. And Golden Tate said, "That's my guy. I get the chills watching this video." That's the guys he meant a lot to his teammates.
Yeah.
They loved him. Hey Matt, on the wings, who was the Matthew Stafford besides Stevie Eiserman?
Oh
No, it's a good question because we won. And it's more to the collaboration of the team. Art, you like that one? That was a little jab for you. I thought I'd bring a smile out of you in the booth, but no. Who would he be? Pure talent.
Maybe you got
Not
to pick
to the
someone.
potential.
Maybe pick someone on the year you didn't win.
Let me think about that.
All right, you got it. Look at Raiola.
See, that's what it means. So it's a lot. He'd be more like a Maltz. Quiet. You don't really, but like
This
all
is the best
about
part.
family.
Look, they show all his coaches except who?
Dan Patricia.
Matt Patricia.
I mean, Matt
Patricia.
I just combined that.
He's
Matt
like,
Patricia.
thank you to all my coaches. They're
Patricia.
showing all these coaches. They even showed Darryl Bevel.
I just combined new with the old.
Helped mold me into the person I am today. Probably never more of an off season and really of a day today that I've been more proud.
Well, again, you look at, you want to say about like social issues and real life issues is you look at what these guys did together, outside of a training camp and making a stand, and that they wouldn't, and that was as real as it gets. So, the deepest, it's not about joke all you want about not winning a playoff game, but no, this is what it's all about.
Right.
And he realizes that because he gives it back, and he doesn't have to be that way. The fact that he is, I think we take that part of it for granted.
But it's great that he is that way. I feel he's
See, here's the thing: is that I think Matt Stafford's got really thick skin, and you know what he learned a long time ago because he's always been is that he's not going to make everybody happy, so it's only the ones, because he's a good dude.
Yeah.
He was the face of
it's
Detroit
not
sports
fake.
here. Let's face it.
He's not. It's not fake, right? The one thing is the one thing is I would say is you wish he was more of an alpha. He's a quiet alpha,
right?
But you wish he was, but that's not his fault. That's why when you say for Steve Eisman couldn't do it without the rest of us. That's why it's a puzzle. It's like a piece goes together.
But the minute our family experienced the unthinkable, you made sure we weren't alone.
She's a tough lady.
Yeah.
We'll be forever grateful.
But even still, it's great that he's thanking the community for their support.
Do you know they came here at Christmas time when Stick and the boys were here? They brought I don't know how many thousands of dollars worth of toys. They were collecting toys for the Tots, Toys for Tots here in Detroit. And Matthew and Kelly showed up here with a whole truckload of toys. I mean,
that is beautiful.
They're great people. They just are.
Yeah.
They actually came twice.
Really? Did you get to meet her?
I did. She's really nice.
That's awesome.
Excuses. That's not who I am. And that's not what this city is.
Well, I'm going to say this about the Rams in Los Angeles. You're getting a very classy guy, that's for sure. And I wish him the absolute best. I don't want him to do too well, right? Because if they completely suck, then we get better draft picks.
Correct, exactly.
But I do wish him.
So what Pilar's trying to say is either go win the Super Bowl or finish 3-13 and 14, so we get a good pick.
That's why I'm saying thank you. Not goodbye. I'll always have a connection to this place. The connection beyond all the records.
With that touchdown pass, Matthew Stafford becomes the all-time leader on the team's touchdown passing list.
I wonder Golden Tate.
Stats.
I wonder if with Golden Tate tweeting that that's his guy, I wonder if there's something there.
Go to L.A.?
He's going to go to L.A.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Look, they had great chemistry together. I wish we would get Golden Tate.
It's the same thing when I say here in Detroit. Look for the connections with Anthony Lynn. Look the connections with Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and those connections. The same thing as where our guys go. Look at the connections there to Stafford. Who's he going to throw to? Different things like that.
Yeah.
He's going to love throwing a Cooper Cup. I know that.
Oh, gosh, for sure he was.
Again, it's all about health, in my opinion.
That's me.
Right.
That's this city.
Nah.
Thank you for everything, Detroit.
Aw.
Sincerely, number 9.
That was so classy, and it was just great. He didn't have to do that. There's so many quarterbacks that get traded. I mean, did Carson Wentz do this to Philly?
Oh, I think he just put his middle finger up. No, he actually took out a good. He took out a nice article. He wrote a nice letter in the Philadelphia Inquirer. He did say thank you to Philly.
Yeah, but this was very, very produced, very time consuming. Before we hit a break, Fish, what do you have to say on this?
So I've been sitting in the booth for 6 hours. Not that I'm complaining. I love this job. But do you recommend I watch this video?
You just did.
You
just did.
I listened to it.
That's right. You're in the booth.
You've listened.
That's why I brought up the question. I haven't seen it yet.
Yes.
You're gonna watch.
So
it,
should I watch it tonight? All right, I will.
Yeah, Fish.
You 100%
I will
should.
watch it. Shout out to Maz for this awesome jersey.
Oh, you're very welcome. He's got a Real Madrid jersey on. You're welcome. You're welcome, Fish.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to take care of Fish.
That was nice of you.
He's top of the line.
That
kid.
means you're getting something soon.
No, don't get me. You do everything for us. Just keep being you, because we all want to be as happy as you are.
Are you a bigger Giants or Jets fan?
I'm both, right down the middle, babe. Giants.
Ooh, all right, you can expect something.
Are you a Giants? Are you a bigger Giants or Lions fan?
Lions.
There you go.
I'm a
Right
Detroiter now.
answer.
I truly am. My life has almost been right down the middle now. I'm almost caught up to my Jersey years. Just 2 more years away from being right down the middle.
Good answer.
In New Jersey. And when we come back from our break, Pilar, I've got a great video on the other side. The Rams put out a video today about their new quarterback.
Oh, look at this. Videos everywhere. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, more Lions talk, making some moves. And, of course, what are the Rams doing? They're trying to one-up us. All right, you're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. And at Hall Financial, we treat our clients like family. And our #1 priority is giving each of our clients 5-star service. Our passion for 5-star service, combined with our expertise, allows us to find the best possible solution for refinancing your home loan. We take the time to focus on both the individual and the numbers. We're going to walk you through the process and close your loan in half the time of our competition. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. It's Thursday, March 18th. I'm Pilar Lastra. To my left, we've got DMac. To my right, we've got Maz.
Yeah, Mac.
And, wait, what did I call him? Did I call him DMac?
I winked at him.
Oh.
I said, here you go, man.
Oh, you guys are in my ear, and I'm all still sweating from the last hour where you guys were, what did I say, buzzard?
Yeah, buzzard.
And it's not a buzzard?
No, it's a buzzer.
A buzzer. Okay.
Or the horn. Just say the horn.
You know
Play
what?
to the horn.
If the Latina girl wants to call it a buzzard, it's a buzzard.
That's right. Lo que yo diga es como va a ser. Buzzard.
That's right.
And of course, behind the glass, we have got our guys, Fish and Art, keeping us in line, of course. All right. Maz, get to your sports update, because there's a lot going on in the world of sports today.
Well, you bet it is. It's time for the big dance. What time is it? 4 o'clock? 5? about less than 2 hours from tip-off between Texas Southern and Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's, a 1-point favorite. The winner gets Michigan. Then you got Drake, Wichita State. Wichita State's a 2-point underdog. They go about 6:30. The winner plays USC. App State, Norfolk State. Norfolk State is 3.5-point underdog. They're called the Spartans, so I'm picking them today as well. They get Gonzaga, and then MSU and UCLA. Take a nap now. Stay awake for the game. They tip at 10. Probably going to go well past midnight tonight. The winner of that game gets BYU on Saturday night. Lions are very busy still. They not only complete the Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford deal, they did it today, so they saved $2.5 million. The Rams pay that signing bonus. The Lions go out and they get another backup for the Packers. Yesterday, Jamal Williams, the running back. Today, Tim Boyle, 1 year, $2.5 million. The guy's 6'4". He's huge, and he's kind of, they like him in Green Bay. He doesn't start, but he's kind of like a cult figure, and we're going to have to figure out this Boyle kid. There's something more to him, but they did lose a guy that everybody here in Detroit liked. He was our offense. Matt Prater on his way to Arizona. I guess the Lions figured if we're going to lose, we can lose with a cheaper kicker.
Matt Prater, Arizona's making some big moves now. They're aggressive.
They are. We'll see how that goes. Don't forget the Lions beat Arizona on a Matt Prater field goal at the gun last season. At the Buzzard, I mean. NFL free agency. Curtis Samuel, 3 years with Washington. Patrick Peterson, he used to be the stud, man, from Arizona. He gets 1 year with the Vikings. He'll probably intercept 4 passes this year against us. Kyle Van Noy back with the Patriots. This guy's loaded. Gets $50 million last year from the Dolphins. Picks up another $13 million back with the Patriots. Jared Cook, 1 year, $6 million with the Chargers. Raiders, Mike Cup, Marcus Mariota. They owe him $10.5 million. Off day for the Tigers. They get the Jays tomorrow. And the Wings host the Stanley Cup. Runners-up, the Dallas Stars tonight at Little Caesars. And should we play our... This Day in Sports again? We saw Paul. Let's bring back Paul Jesperson. Here, let's go back to 2016. Northern Iowa with the win.
This is the second. Texas will have a chance to tie or win it with a 3. Taylor attacks, floats, even at 72. 2.7 left. Last chance for the Panthers.
And he said he wouldn't take a timeout in this situation.
Jesperson, half-court heat for the win. Jesperson knows it.
I love the foreboding of the sportscaster and stuff like this. And also, too, yesterday it's been reported by our boy Easy that Kenny Golladay met with the Bears.
The Bears.
And Pilar, your Will Fuller V has signed with...
Not Detroit.
The Miami Dolphins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's going to love it in Miami.
Oh, man.
Viva Miami.
Who doesn't love going to Miami? I mean,
Miami.
Clevelander.
He'll do well there.
Clevelander was good. That was cool.
They used to have in the middle.
They used to have a Clevelander.
Pool.
They used to have a Clevelander bar at Miami Marlins Stadium, the Florida Marlins, now they're Miami Marlins. In the stadium was the Clevelander bar. I went... it was a fun stadium to go see. They got that wicked fountain out in right field with the Marlins jumping through if you hit a home run. But the Clevelander bar at that stadium, a lot of fun. And that's where most of the people are. They're not watching the Marlins.
No. Good times, though. Fish, did you have something to add? We saw you on that one.
Yeah, isn't the Clevelander still there?
I think it is. I think it is.
No, it is.
They had go-go dancers there. They were partying, man. I mean, that was a very cool place. Not only that, the bullpen is right there as well. You can go and watch the players warm up in the bullpen. It's indoors. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, it's actually a retractable roof. Right? It's retractable roof, yeah.
I saw one game with the roof closed and one with it open, so I was lucky enough to see that.
Middle relief pitcher for the Miami Marlins is like
you're
the
in the
go-to
Clevelander
job
bar.
where you just sit in the Clevelander and wait for your turn.
So, guys, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about the negotiations that is happening here for our Lions. You mentioned that they did sign Packers quarterback or backup quarterback Tim Boyle. Do we like this? Do we not? They pay $2.5 million. We can basically say thank you, Rams, because they paid for that and paying for the signing. So they're making some really smart moves here. I feel like them picking up Tim Boyle, does this make you think that they are not going to go after a quarterback?
No, I don't think that's going to be
in the draft.
I don't think that's going to be it at all. More than likely, they're probably not going to take a quarterback at 7. I think they might trade back. We'll see how it goes. If what everyone is saying, that Trey Lance is going to go no later than 7, and if you're a team that wants him, you're going to have to make a deal with the Lions to get him. So I'm going to see how that goes. But if they love him, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, Chris Spielman, John Dorsey, if they like Lance or if they like another quarterback, I say take him at 7. I think they're only going to get better going on from here. I don't think they'll pick in the top 10 again. At least I keep my fingers crossed. But Michael Brocker's signing, coming over from the Rams for a 7th-round pick. Now he is supposedly our own guy, Scott Bischoff, on Sean's draft show, said that that's the word around town, that they will sign him to a long-term deal. The guy has been starting ever since he came out of school as a first-round pick for the St. Louis Rams.
Here's the thing, too, with this signing of Boyle, and I don't care what it is, the difference between if somebody says, well, didn't they do the same thing last year with Chase Daniel? No, Matt said $2.5 million, not $5 or $6 million, which means there's nobody on an NFL roster making $2.5 million that isn't expendable. So if it falls out that way, like that's just the rub off to whatever. Obviously, they have Tim Boyle in their plans, that he's got something. Maybe he's a culture guy, maybe he's a locker room guy. I'll tell you, I'm not talking about him today, but you remember Kevin Hodgson? Greatest third goalie all time. Ticker. We called him Ticker because his heart rate went to like 240 one time.
Oh, my goodness.
We had to rush from the hospital.
He was a jokester, wasn't he?
He was the biggest prankster ever, and he could do... I'll save him for a story, but he was one of the funniest teammates you'll ever meet. But yeah, that's how sick hockey players are, Pilar. He has a close call with death and a heart attack, and it doesn't kill him, so we call him Ticker.
Thank God you didn't do that with Yuri Fisher, though.
Right.
Well, that was a different situation.
I know. He almost Pilar. Didn't realize that.
Yuri Fisher, another teammate of mine. I was in Calgary at the time, and actually we had a game that night. I was on the bike. Pre-game because Calgary's 2 hours time difference watching, and Yuri Fisher was 26 or so at the time, had a heart attack on the bench, and if it wasn't for the doctors that were there, he would have died. But it got a defibrillator in every rink from there,
because
so
of
he
that.
lived. And every year since I've been retired, last 10 years, we play a game, Shocks and Jocks up in Saginaw. I think, up until the COVID.
Wow.
But we've I guess like. Hockey players have 6 sense of humor. I think athletes do when it comes to making fun of the mortal to get by.
I feel like you guys take everything to the next level. I've been around the world.
Well, you see how much trauma we've been through.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Wait till you meet Brady.
Yes.
I got a treat for you today.
Oh, I can't wait. We do have Brady Leavold, who's going to be joining us later on during the hour here on The Hook.
Another one of Darren's buddies.
Yeah, his story is insane. But guys, I do want to get to another video that we have, because the Rams have been very Twitter happy today, and they tweeted out a video welcoming Matthew Stafford.
Look at him. Look at that.
It just
First
looks
of all,
weird.
that
I'm not okay with that.
It's horrible, that uniform. Horrible what they've done to those Rams uniforms. That's cartoonish. Go back to your regular uniforms.
If you put a helmet on him, wouldn't you look like Goff a little bit?
No,
I'm just saying with the stance or what you can't see his face,
well, I don't know.
but just that. No, is that the typical quarterback pose? Or is
Yeah,
that the
this is
typical
this is what
quarterback
they
pose?
do. But
Reminds me of high school photos or something like that. What is that?
I don't know the exact the exact numbers, but I feel like Jared Goff is a little bit taller, a little bit more thin.
Okay. More Hollywood-esque as well.
Yes.
Who's he
yes.
look? Doesn't he look?
What was that picture?
Alike.
Who is it? I'm not big in the whole celebrity lookalikes, but yeah, the guy that I think he's married to Eva Mendes. I can't remember. It's not Ryan Reynolds. I don't know.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. Yes. Now they do look alike. Yeah, that looks like Jared Goff.
Not Matthew Stafford.
No. All right, guys. So let's hit the video. Let's see what they're doing.
They brought in an absolute stallion of a quarterback.
Yes,
how big is that? Matthew Stafford magic. Matthew Stafford is an absolute stud.
Matthew looking out over that defense row.
Yes.
Caught! Touchdown, Detroit Lions.
He knows what we are about to do all the time.
Looks, drifts left, throws deep, got a man open, end zone, caught, touchdown!
He threw that thing hard. He broke one of my fingers. Right there, in practice, broke that thing. He feel like he could fit any ball in any hole. A lot of zip in it.
He saw what the defense was, and he changed it to the perfect play.
Matthew Stafford has Hall of Fame talent.
The Los Angeles Rams wanted Matthew Stafford as badly as Matthew Stafford wanted them.
Welcome to Hollywood.
Can I just say that had me hyped?
Yeah, I mean that's.
And I'm not even like the biggest Stafford fan. Obviously, he didn't do shit for us, but still, like I'm like, go Stafford, go!
Be a Rams fan, Art.
That's what I'm saying, man. Welcome to Hollywood, because I feel like he might make it to the Pro Bowl now. I feel that the fans in LA are just so die hard that
no, they're not die hard.
Yes, they are.
No, they're
die
the
hard.
worst fans in football. They're the worst fans in sports.
About?
LA fans are the worst fans in sports. That's why they lost their team.
Look at the what we have up on our screen right now. I mean, all his accomplishments, and he never made it to a Pro Bowl here. I feel that in the city of Los Angeles, they're going to embrace him. They're going to love him. They love
us. One thing, Pilar, is that Maz, we understand as living here, you're fair weather fans, but if he might give you something to do, but he's got to have the cameras on him. And being in LA, he's got more opportunity to shine or more opportunity to fail. So that could be the greatest hype video or the greatest premonition of what not to happen and what happened here in the last 10 years. So here's the thing. He's got all the opportunity in the world, and if Matthew Stafford, like we're talking about, like you saw in the video, the guy that cares about the community and stuff like that, he's got Hall of Fame talent. He's an absolute gunslinger, all that stuff. Now, that's great to have those tangibles. Now go out and prove it, and there's no better place if you're going to make a Pro Bowl, if you're going to make a splash. Yeah. I mean, I draft him as my quarterback without any qualms about it, because I think that he's going to get the opportunity he didn't get with them.
I do. I'm going to agree with this. I think
How
he's
high
got
in
an
fantasy
opportunity.
does he go now? Is he top
I mean,
five
now?
No,
No,
but
he's not top
but
five.
he's
But
one
there's
of the.
still,
I feel he's one of those picks that it's a decision that he's one of those ones that you could use as sort of a fly. Like, think about this. Like last year when you're going to draft Cam Newton or whatever, like this expectations. Your expectations of Matthew Stafford going into this season are higher. So he's like, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Pilar, but in certain leagues, like third, fourth round, depending on if you have the running backs or your quarterbacks or whatever, but he could be your.
He's not a third or fourth round. I mean, you're not supposed to be picking a quarterback before your fifth round.
Okay,
I mean,
so sixth rounder then?
Sixth rounder? No, he'll probably go like in the seventh round, though. I mean, But
he's a decision guy. You have to make a choice on him, right?
For sure, he's not going to be your backup. I think he'll be a starter for a lot of people. He can sling the heck out of the ball. He can, put up yards. I like his situation with the Rams. I think it's going to go anywhere. I mean, he's got nowhere to go but up.
Depending where I draft, once the big quarterbacks are off the board, Mahomes is gone, Russell Wilson's gone. Keep naming quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers went late last year because they didn't think he was going to have a good year.
Right.
I think Matthew Stafford is your biggest sleeper in fantasy football for quarterbacks this year.
I think he's going to do well. But also, we're going to remember, we have to remember that we lost a great one to retirement, Drew Brees.
Yeah.
So
but last year was not a good year for him, fantasy-wise.
He got hurt. Fish, what do you have to say on this?
I got two things. Number one, Stafford was the offensive MVP and in the Pro Bowl in 2015. The second one is LA, they don't have the best sports fans, but the ones they do have, they're massive sports fans.
He's like Tony Reale on PTI. He gives all the mistakes we make. Fish calls us on it.
So wait, he did go to the Pro Bowl in 2015?
Yeah, Speakeasy Sports source told me that he went to the Pro Bowl in 2015.
Speakeasy
Why
Sports?
did I not know this? I thought he's never made the Pro Bowl.
But he might have been the added pick and then won because Maz said that he got in as a reserve.
Yeah, I thought he got in as a reserve.
He was the ultimate pick.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I mean,
but Pilar's not from Detroit, so we got to give her some.
Well, but there was a clip that I remember watching a while back where Matthew Stafford said, "I've thrown for 4,500 yards and I still didn't get voted into the Pro Bowl." So
Yeah,
I mean,
they were 3-13.
And most of his yards were coming, with 8 minutes left in the game, and they're down 30. So, Pat Stafford. So, it is what it is.
All right, guys.
And you lived in California. You still think the LA fans are good? They come to Dodger games in like the 5th inning. That's when they show up.
They show up.
In
You know
the
what?
5th inning.
But here's the thing, though. They buy the tickets. They show up. Everybody's fashionably
Here's
late.
your next homework. Your next homework is to go back to, I think it was 88, and watch Kirk Gibson's home run against Dennis Eckersley in the World Series.
In the exhibition game?
No, in the World Series.
No, I know, but the exhibition game attendance, it looked like it was
but not only
Lakeland.
that, I want you to watch the outfield as the ball is going and Vince Scully is saying, "She is gone." You see all the cars leaving and they're putting their brake lights on in the parking lot. They were leaving already. They gave up.
That's happened to me a lot of times, like going to a Dodgers game. There's been many times that I leave early. And then there was one, I can't even remember exactly how it went down, but I was almost out the door, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, there's a home run. Oh, another one runs it in. Like, it was like back to back, and I was like, I'm going to stick around.
I figured it out. I figured it out, guys.
What?
It goes with the time change. The 3 hours behind, so a regular game out there is only 5 innings.
Exactly.
Not 9 innings. They show up in the 3rd, leave in the 7th. They're there. They got it. 7th inning stretch.
They go to the beach.
That's how we got down to amateur games, the 7 innings, because the 7th inning stretch to the Westerners, they thought the game was over. We kept playing. It all explains it. Thank you, Pilar.
All right, well, I'm happy I was able to help you come to that conclusion.
By the way, I saw Clayton Kershaw, of course, Matthew Stafford's friend. Now they play in the same town, and he was parading around with his Matthew Stafford number 9 Rams jersey. Just wanted to let you know that.
All right, guys, let us know what you think
know.
on our social media at Woodward Sports. Do you think that the city of Los Angeles is going to embrace Matthew Stafford and vote him into another Pro Bowl? Let us know your thoughts at Woodward Sports. When we come back, we've got DMacs 3 keys for the Wings to win versus Dallas. And, of course, we've got our interview with Brady Leavold coming up also. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, it's Joey from Woodward Sports, and I am here in downtown Fenton at Bridge Street Exchange. This place has so many amazing things for guys and ladies. This is the hidden spot that you got to come check out. I'm talking thorough good boots, best boots ever. They have barware. They got the Stormy Cromer hats. They got Carhartt hats, a huge Carhartt selection. They even got Snoop Dogg underwear. So go check them out, bridgestreetexchange.com, and use the code word WSN for 15% off.
The perfect bracket payoff is here. Woodward Sports and Hall Financial want to pay off your mortgage. So go to our website and make your bracket pick today. And Hall Financial could pay off your house up to $500,000 if you guess the perfect bracket. That's woodwardsports.com to play now. And if you don't get a perfect bracket, we still have some awesome prizes like a PS5, a 65-inch television, a Detroit-made Shinola watch from Bridge Street Exchange, a Top Golf gift card from Grow Green, and we even have something for the person who comes in very last place. A brand new awesome toilet.
I need that.
So go to woodwardsports.com, sign up today, fill out your bracket because you have until 12 p.m. tomorrow. So do that now. Yes, high noon. Look at you guys hitting the buzzard. Hitting the buzzer.
I prematurely buzzard.
The other one that people give me a lot of grief on, and I got somebody on Twitter when I said earlier who I have winning the whole thing. I said I've got Illinois.
With an S.
With an S.
I wasn't going to correct you because a lot of people say that.
The fact that anybody was able to pick up on that on Twitter.
They pick it up.
The S is like you can't even hear it though. I feel like Illinois. But if it's to me again because English is my second language, I felt like if it's there, you read it, you pronounce it, right?
If they're Canadian, it's Illinois.
So that's even worse. That's even worse. But But yeah, so I have Illinois with the S being silent.
Just stick with their nickname, the Illini. Just go with the Illini.
Illini.
That's their name, the Fighting Illini.
Well, I've got Illinois winning the whole thing, since I don't think that Livers is going to be back for Michigan. That's my thing. But
how about Fish? Who does he have to win it all? That's what I want to know.
Fish, who you got winning it?
Real Madrid?
I do not have them winning it all, shockingly. I have Illinois winning it all.
He said Illinois also. He said Illinois also.
He did.
That's it's supposed to be no S?
No S.
Okay. Illinois then.
There you
Illinois,
go.
yeah.
But I've always said Illinois until 2 seconds ago.
See, it's in your head now.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just say
it is in my head.
If it's there, you pronounce it. All right, guys, let's get to DMacs 3 keys for the Wings to pull off the win tonight against Dallas. DMac, what do you have for us?
Well, it's pretty simple. I think Maz and I talked about it yesterday, but the Wings, obviously this year we're talking progress, not perfection. What we're also talking about is, do we see what this team is building towards? And moving into the trade deadline in a few weeks, I think we'll have more answers as far as what Steve Eisman wants to do. Until then, here are my 3 keys of the day. And so first of all, guys, we have to power play, stay hot. From a power play that was earlier in the year that went for an 0-40 streak to now being able to score in 7-8 straight games. They got 2 the other night. Adam Ernie. I'm going to paraphrase Coach Jeff Blashill saying that Adam Ernie's a guy who wasn't promised any ice time on the power play during the preseason, but he's earned it. That's what you want to see. You want to see guys earning their ice time. They call it the bumper now.
He's earning it?
He's earning it.
Yeah.
Ernie has earned it.
Yes.
I like it, Maz.
You got it.
But the bump, they call it the bumper on the sideboards and stuff like this. They're just showing you the different things, the little things. There's Hronek with his first goal the other night, an empty net goal to make it a 4-2. But that's taking care of your own end, and it's okay to shoot that. But when you see your captain activated like this, and this is just communication, because this is just something you work on. In the NHL, it's about getting shots on net, and it's quick release, and everybody's so good. So the power play is a big part of it to stay hot tonight and at least have that build off the last game success. Like I said, keep skating, keep putting pucks in, get behind. And now we're battling consistency, number 3. So, as we've said before, the trend with this team is the first night they play tonight, Thursday, they play Saturday, both against Dallas. The trend has been to lose tonight and then to hit the over on Saturday. Let's change that trend tonight, and I will tell you why with my bet later on in that'll have to do with tonight's game. But I look forward to the Wings, because here's the one thing, guys, right? You're looking for you make mistakes, and then you're looking to correct them, right? So correcting them is your consistency of knowing that you came out, you played a great game against the defending Stanley Cup champions in the Tampa Bay Lightning, but then you came out flat and allowed Carolina to shut you out. You came back hard again. So let's put it back to back. We used to say that don't lose 2 in a row. Well, let's start putting a winning streak together, and it'll give us some progress. So I'll be down there tonight. Anybody who's down there, and I look forward to a Wings victory. I'm pretty confident tonight.
Joey will be there as well. I know you guys got together the last game, but I want you to get me an interview tonight. Surprise me.
How does Joey get in? Is he covering it, or does he have season tickets? I don't know.
Tickets. Is he going with other dude or another
guy? Buddy.
All right, my friends, when we come back, we have got Brady Leavold, who's going to be joining us talking about the foundation that he started, Puck Support Network. We've got DMac wearing some gear, so do not go anywhere. We will be right back on The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
I mean, we're inside Grove Green right now, and they have everything. I'm talking, you got your active air fans, you got your big lights over there, big pots, little pots, and Joey, what are you doing right now?
Get some sun.
That's not what those lights are for.
Feels nice.
Go to Grow Green MI today to get all your growing needs and a tan.
Woodward Sports Network. Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from my bookie studios. Like we promised, we are about to deliver. Our friend Brady Leavold is joining us here on The Hook. Brady, welcome to the show.
But there's my alarm, guys. Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys having me. See, I'm always on time now. That used to be a thing that I had trouble with, but always on time now. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Look at this beauty. Now, this kid, he's got his teeth in, too. You put your teeth in, you little not look at it. So let me give you a little background here. So this is Brady. There it is, the true hockey guy. So this is Brady Leavold. Now you have to understand this. Right now, we were, yesterday we met Brant Myers, who's a guy who we learned has been through the program and played in the NHL and was a success story. But along the ways, it was always important for me. Is that what about the guys that didn't make it and stuff like this? So just with and my recovery and stuff like this. So to let everybody know, Brady's like my little brother. We were actually born in the same hospital in Burnaby, BC. I told you Joe Sakic got all the talent. Brady and I got all the troubles, but we battled our way out because we're the soldiers. Now Brady's story through junior hockey and all this stuff. Now mine being more alcohol. Insomnia, and Brady's more on the heroin and the pills stuff, but it's to the point that we all have a story, we all have a past, but it's all about trying to be better people. One of the things is that Brady's Hockey to Hell and Back podcast, which he's got enormous following too, with guys that want to spread the message, and then the Puck Support Network. So I'll let Brady explain why he set up the Puck Support Network. I want to show everybody not only here's the merch, but this is DMac special Puck Support visor because he needed it. But this is what you'll love. If you can see, I don't know if we can see inside here because I'm gonna get up actually.
Oh, it's a yeah.
I'm gonna get up and every
there you go. Right.
Thing has Bob Probert as our OG.
Bob Probert. He's the guru.
Yeah, he's so Brady. If you would explain to the folks how we came about each other, and then what you've done, and where you're at with your sobriety, and what you've been able to do, because you are one of my, everybody who knows me knows Aaron, my right hand, is one of my. I'm not here to argue. I'm here for what do you mean by that. Brady's the same way. And, dude, I look at you today. I'm so proud of you. I can see how healthy you are. So give the people a spiel about what you're doing.
Yeah, DMac, thanks, man. And just so people know, DMac was one of my idols growing up. I'm not kidding. You see my number on this side.
Yeah.
25 when I was in Kelowna because of DMac, long before I ever met him, and long before I knew we were born in the same hospital. But, so I played in the Western Hockey League and had a ton of mental illness, depression, suicide attempts, different things, and addiction on a minor scale. Got injured playing in the AHL, blew my knee out in the minors. After junior, I signed with the Lightning, and hello Oxycontin, and that was just a road that I never would have expected. You can see behind me there's a picture of Derek Bugard, Rick Rippon beside me. There's a picture of Bob over here. There's a number of people that we've lost along the way, and so with the amount of times that I overdosed and the amount of times that I was in the psych ward because I tried to take my own life, and sitting here today now 1 year sober off of all of that garbage, all the hard stuff, and I never thought that I would get here. And shout out to the Probert family, Danny, and I got my Bruise Brothers shirt on underneath, of course, because the Probert family has been a huge support for Puck Support as well. So thank you, DMac, for that introduction. Just been great. But you know what? Like my addiction took me to some pretty heavy places. We're talking homelessness, jail, the brink of death. I can't tell you guys where I was at. I was an intravenous drug user with absolutely no hope. And I found out, along the way in this past year, how many other individuals we've lost to mental illness and addiction-related causes, and just people that lived a hard life that maybe felt disconnected when they were done playing hockey, and even while they were playing hockey, they were struggling. And so, the podcast was the first step, and I just wanted to share my story because I thought maybe it would have some value to just one person. And that was, I just had my 100th episode of my podcast. I did change the name after like 60. It used to be called Hockey to Heroin, The Road to Recovery, but we changed the name to Hockey to Hell and Back. And so 100 podcasts later, I'm still going strong. But, after I started the podcast, guys, I I started to realize that, you know, we had lost some along the way, and I started to uncover these stories. And, you know, Maz, I heard you talk about it yesterday. You know, you talk about the Belacs, the Rippins, the Bogards, these guys that lived a tough life. And so, you know, I set out to make a difference, and I didn't really know what that was going to look like, and we're still sort of trying to iron it all out. But I had a meeting with some members from the NHL today and a member of the NHLPA, which was really exciting, getting to share with them what's going on. So some people are starting to take notice, and, you know, it's not just Bob Probert in the clothing. So, like, in my hoodie here, the purple and gray, like this guy here, Mitch Fadden, he was drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was my roommate in the AHL, and I found out after I did a story on Sportsnet up here in Canada, I was sharing this story. I left his name out because I didn't want to air out his dirty laundry, and I was trying to find him after the story came out. And I'm like, you know, Mitch, I want to get you on my podcast. You know, I'm messaging him. Someone called me and was like, hey, you know, like, Mitch Fadden passed away of an overdose in 2017. And I was like, what? Like, I hit the floor, and, you know, I realized then that something needed to be done. Then I found out that my coach, my first year pro, who was in treatment the same time I was, he was the first person I saw when I walked in, took his own life in 2015. And I was just like, I can't keep seeing all these headlines and just sitting back here on the other side of it and knowing that more needs to be done. Like, we can talk about it till we're blue in the face, but people need support. They need sometimes in the hockey community, a hockey player needs another hockey player, a hockey personality to come in and say, hey, you know what, it's okay to be not okay, because we understand, like, we know what you're going through, and the mentorship is a huge part of it. And, like, DMac's been a huge part of my recovery. I just, like I said, celebrated 1 year off all that garbage. My arms are healing up nicely. I got to get some tattoos. But those are scars that, you know what, I honestly, guys, I wouldn't change it anything, because I'm sitting here today. I'm very grateful that I'm alive. I shouldn't be, and I should be on the list of names. And there's a picture that I've made. It's like a collage of all the players, and there's NHL players. There's also minor hockey players. There's a story down in the States, guys, of Nick and Jack Savage, two brothers. They both passed away of an overdose in the same night. 16 and 18 years old. Brothers, hockey players, they died in the same night from overdose. And,
oh my God,
you know, there's just terribly sad. Sorry, go ahead, hop in if you'd like.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think that the big thing, Brady, is what I love about you is the reality. And you know what? The one thing is that if I'm going to tell you once, you're going to show you twice. I just noticed that. So my teammate, Steve Monador in Calgary, who I love, Monty, and he is another one that we lost. But that, you know, and here's the thing, right, is that I got Proby on here and Monador, and as Brady said, the different guys that are up there, they represent who you know, but there's so many people out there, and we use the puck support because that's what we know, but he's out there doing it. Finding these stories, and it's facing these vulnerable truths with integrity. So, here's the one thing I wanted you to share, Brady, is how were you able to get to a year sober? What was your why? What came down to it? What was the why to turn around and start to fight like you fought to play in the NHL?
Yeah, there was a number of things, right? I tried for years and years, and, you know, when I first went to treatment, you know, I was told, you can't do this, you can't drink, you can't use cannabis, you can't do anything, and you just got to live this way. And so I tried to conform to that time and time again. I went to detox and rehab more times than we could count. Seriously, I tried and kept failing until I gave up. You know, I'm going to be honest, the last year, up until recently, I just stopped, you know, smoking cannabis, smoking weed, and without that, I don't think I would be sitting where I am today. Now I'm sort of getting past that, where I'm not trying just not to be dependent on it as much, but certainly use the CBD and different, you know, holistic medicines that help me. But the way that I see it is, you know, I had to fight. I had to fight for my life, because if I didn't start fighting back against this addiction, there was no way that I was going to survive. Like, you don't get this many chances. I can't tell you how many chances I had in hockey with quitting in the Western Hockey League and coming back and you know, showing up to camps, you know, going through opiate withdrawal and getting another chance, and all the overdoses. And I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to have these chances forever. And, you know, my girlfriend got pregnant, at the time, I just have a 5-month-old now, and that was a big turning point for me too. But you know what? It came down to getting honest. DMac, you talk about, having to look in the mirror and face yourself. That's what I had to do. I mean, I literally had to start taking ownership for everything that I had done. Yes, was I sexually abused as a kid? Yes, I was, but we can't change that. I had to forgive that guy. I had to forgive anybody that ever hurt me, and I had to forgive myself, number one, for all the people that I hurt and all the mistakes that I made. Holding on to these resentments towards myself or others was only ever going to keep me sick. And so I take ownership of that, but I don't carry it with me everywhere I go now. You can still find the stories about how I went to jail for 2 years and then went to jail for a year. I was homeless for a year on the worst street in North America in Vancouver, arguably Hastings. And, I made it out alive, and I made it out alive for a reason. And that reason is to not only share my story. My story is one very small part of it, but my reason for living is, my family, but also to be that strength, that hope for others that, are struggling today, because I know there's several.
Brady, you have pretty much put us all through this like hurricane right now in telling your story and everything that you've been through. I mean, so much has happened, and you're so young, and you've talked about things from when you were young, and I want to talk so much more about the Puck Support Network, but take me back to when you were young. You said you were dealing with depression, you had other things that happened to you when you were a child, and there's such a young generation now that is on heroin, that is on pain pills, and are able to get their hands on so many things that I don't even know how they're able to get their hands on them. But what do you say to the younger generation that is dealing with depression and trying to find a way out for this?
Yeah, you know what? It's a very good question. I've talked about this lots, and I sit here today and I still battle depression. That doesn't mean that I'm using drugs for that anymore, but I struggle on a daily basis to sometimes something good is happening and I'm like, why can't I be feeling joy right now? Like, I should be so much happier, but that's not the way I always am. So what I say to the younger generation is, if you're going through something, you do not have to go through it alone. And I think especially in the hockey community, even we're talking sports, it's typically, shut up and put your head down and work, and don't tell anybody what's going on. Show no weakness, and that goes for the dressing room as well. But you know what? I think the world collectively is starting to take notice to these things and being a lot more open, ending the stigma surrounding all of it. But again, talking about it is the first step. Finding ways of support and getting that support is crucial, I believe. And it doesn't have to come in one form. There's so many different ways for individuals to get support. And I think just if something isn't working for you, try something else. Don't give up on yourself. And if you have family members that are going through similar things, don't give up on them. Because, I truly believe miracles do happen, but they start to happen when, us as individuals take ownership for our own lives and start to make the right decisions for us. And then, beautiful things happen around us. I can't even explain it.
One of the things that I think people overlook is in young boys, they go through hormones too. And when boys are around 13, their hormones are going crazy. And it's never really talked about how they can have depression too. And they don't really know that it's depression. They don't know that it's hormonal, to where with girls, it's like, oh, they're just girls. They're just hormonal. And it's okay for a girl to get depressed and upset and then know that it's hormones, no big deal. But when did you know that you had depression at a young age?
Yeah, you know what? I think, when did I know? Probably not till I was, 17. But looking back, I think I suffered from it for a long time. And hockey was my outlet, Like, after all that stuff happened, I was 5. And then again when I was 6, when I was sexually abused, like, I turned to hockey. I'd have that stick in my hand. I'd have my rollerblades on or my skates on the ice. And that was my escape. And nothing else mattered at the time. Absolutely nothing. And then, you start to get older. You bring up the point when you're going through puberty. You start to, girls start to come into your life, and different things, different distractions, trying alcohol for the first time, introduced to different things. So hockey sort of stopped working for me, and I found what I would call at the time easier ways, easier solutions, such as drinking and drugs, to get that sort of outlet. But yeah, definitely when I was 17 for sure is when I first was actually diagnosed with depression, and probably the very first time where I actually realized that this is having a huge effect on my life. Instead of I'm not just sad, like this is clinical. This is something that's more than just having a bad day.
Brady Leavold, our guest today, the founder of the Puck Support Network and a good friend of Darren McCarty, a brother to Darren McCarty. And I noticed your 2 jerseys. You told us about number 25, of course, Darren McCarty. Number 10, to me, I'm looking at it as Guy Lafleur. And I'm laughing because Scotty Bowman tells you, big brother here, that his second favorite right winger was Darren McCarty. His first, of course, was the great Flower, Guy Lafleur, number 10.
Well,
before you start, Brady, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but 10 was my number growing up, too.
Oh, wow.
It was.
Look at that.
And I would have worn 10, right, but Delvecchio had it. I would have worn 19.
It was already up in the ceiling.
had it, so I ended up 25. But the funny, there's more similarities. And it's one of these things that where Brady and I are at with this conversation, and these conversations will keep going, whether it's on Grind Time, whether it's on Hockey to Hell and Back. There's something I'm trying to get together with him to be able to give, just telling stories and connecting people. But Brady, what's most important is tell Maz what the 10 stand for, or else he'll blow your phone up all night, trust me. And the second thing is, where can people reach you or the Puck Support Network? Because this is for everybody. We use the love of the game just so we have something to relate to. But if you have questions or are dealing with, and a lot of times it's like it's family members and stuff like that, but it's to having the questions. So let them know where we can find you.
Well, first off, I'm from Vancouver originally, so that number 10's Pavel Bure. I was a big Bure fan until 1997 when DMac danced through everybody and got that game where I think I can't tell you how many times.
One time, kid. One time. Just all you got to do it. It's just when do you do it? So that's all.
That's
it is.
right.
It's all timing. What I tell you.
That's right, and it's funny. I'll show you a clip. There's a goal where I almost, not quite as nice, but my best Darren McCarty impression when I was in Kelowna. But yeah, for anybody that wants to reach out to me directly, you can email me, Brady@pucksupport.com. Super easy. On Instagram @mentalhealthhockey, but more importantly at Puck Support, and then pucksupport.com. If you want to get any of this merchandise, we actually have a promo code on right now, special for you guys. Promo code The Hook's going to get you guys 15% off to anybody watching, listening for the next couple of days. So pretty cool. But yeah, if you want to reach me, I do my best to get back to everybody. I always do. Maybe it takes a day, but we also do have an executive director of mental health and addiction, Sandra, on call virtually 24/7. She's the professional. I just have the professional experience. So she's on the clinical side. So anybody that really has something going on, we do offer that support. And to DMac's point, this is not just for players or professional players. It's for minor hockey players, coaches, parents, anybody involved in the hockey community. If you need support, we're going to find a way to get it to you.
Hey, I think DMac met his match on the mic, too. I think your little brother
he's good.
Is pretty
He's
damn
great.
good. Nice job there,
I'm going to have
Brady.
to tune
I'm
into
proud of
his
you.
podcast.
He's getting his chops in. Don't worry. Don't worry, Maz. That seat's a little bit colder than it used to be. Oh, what's that? Hey, when's that golf tournament, bud? When's your golf tournament?
Yeah, so we're working on that. It's going to be up here in Muskoka, hopefully at Taboo. I've been talking to my dentist, who's friends with the owner, and we'll let you guys know for sure. I mean, it's going to be a blast. Try to get a bunch of guys up here, and hopefully some female hockey players too. Because you know what, there's a couple of female hockey players on our list as well, tragically, and we want to have an impact in the female hockey community, because I truly believe that they deserve a lot of credit. They always have, but more so now than ever. There's a lot of great females out there, and we're behind them 100% of the way too.
Well, that's because the Canadian women are tougher than the Canadian men. That's a fact. I'm a Canadian man. We can say that, bud.
That's the same for The Hispanic women, I
Well,
say
there you
that
go.
too.
I think it's the same. I think it's the same in the battle of the sexes. Women are tougher than men.
Yes, I would have to
Yeah, but ours
agree.
carry sticks.
Well, I mean, we just carry our hoops. That's what we carry. Brady, thank you so much for joining us here on The Hook. Anytime you have something coming up that you want to let all of our listeners and viewers know, please come back and join us anytime. Make sure that you are checking out his foundation, Puck Support Network. When we come back, we've got a little bit of Me Gusta or No Me Gusta. So don't go anywhere. You're tuning into The Hook on Woodward Sports Network.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Hall Financial. Interest rates have started to fluctuate, so now is the time to call Hall Financial. You don't know what's going to happen, so be smart and make the call now while rates are low because you could be saving some money. Hall Financial is fast. They do all the heavy lifting for you. So check them out, davidhallmortgage.com now to get started. Hall Financial equals lower payments, better options, more personal attention. Make sure you tell them Maz sent you.
Welcome back to The Hook on Woodward Sports Network, Detroit's all-digital network, live from MyBookie Studios. Make sure that you are joining in on the fun and the conversations on all of our social media at Woodward Sports. And, of course, that you are downloading our app. Make sure you're sharing it with your friends, your family members, all your loved ones. You can find it on the App Store and Android. Just Woodward Sports Network. It's super easy, and it makes it very easy to watch all of our shows.
Super easy.
Whether it's this one, whether it's The Morning Wood, whether it's
Bell and Baligian.
Bell and Baligian. Yep. So make sure that you're checking out. It's the Sneaker Show, not
The Sneaker
Snickers,
Box.
The Sneaker
The
Box.
Smoke Show.
Yes. Great show.
The Draft Show.
Yes. Make sure that you
The
are checking them
Aquarium,
out.
the Sin Bin, all those shows.
Fish's Place. You know, that one too.
All right, guys. So it is time to play Me Gusta or No Me Gusta. And, of course, make sure that you are letting us know your thoughts on our social media at Woodward Sports. But, my friends, I have to ask you, Deshaun Watson is involved in yet the third lawsuit for another allegation. This one was a little bit more severe. This one was that he forced a masseuse to perform oral sex on him. And I mean, when you say forced someone to do a sexual act, this is really okay. Now I'm starting to see, is the smoke where there's fire? This could really damage anything of him going to another team. The league is obviously investigating this, so te gusta or no te gusta, DMac?
Well, where was, what's the date of this one?
This was also from about a year ago.
But when did this, so
I don't have
so
the
why
exact
is
date.
There's
is
three
it-
this week that
No,
came out.
Right.
but I'm
All of
saying,
them.
but yesterday when Pilar brought up the point, my point is when
From
did
a year
these
ago.
happen? And I'm not saying whether they did or not. Obviously, when there's smoke, there's fire with more coming out. It's like Comey and friggin' in New York. You know, like, I mean, come on. You know, I mean, I know enough. So there's obviously something there. I don't know how much, but I'll wait till I'll say no me gusta till I.
Is
no
this
gusta.
bad? Do you feel that this is bad for him?
Well,
Matt?
yeah, because it's just
It's not
keeps
good.
saying- but because it's the pile up. And,
Right.
and the pile up to whatever else for whatever motivation for whatever reason. Now, hey, this could honestly, I'm gonna go to my conspiracy theory side, right, and say this could be with all the shenanigans going on with that Houston organization as far as the ownership, management stuff. Would I put it by him for a blackmail trying to get him because of the $1 million? Like, I'm going to home, I'm going to YouTube, I'm looking up conspiracy theories around Deshaun Watson. And until it's proven, I'm not saying he did or he didn't, but I just choose not to get into the conversation of it, and because I smell deeper. If he comes out and says, because I know for me, like the one thing is that I'll admit to everything that I've done or whatever like this, but if you blame me for something I didn't do, I will die on that cross. right? So he's the same sort of way that, we don't know. I think this is something that I like. You've brought this up twice now, but there's something behind it, because whether it is or it isn't, there's a story there of how not to. So if it's a conspiracy theory, right, how not to have this happen, and if he did it, what is the repercussions? Why did it take a year? There's so many questions. So right now I'm going to No Me Gusta.
Well, the deal or no deal should be Deshaun Watson should never get a massage again.
For sure.
And I will say, deal. He should never get a massage again.
We're not playing that game anymore.
No deal. He should massage himself.
Yeah, listen, get the hell out of Houston. No wonder he wants to get out of Houston. This guy, the more skeletons that come out of his closet, the more I got to scratch my head.
You say it's skeletons, and I say
they're piling up, bro.
But
One
did
thing
you
is a
hear
mistake.
See, here's the thing. It could be the Tiger Woods thing, right? Where that was the one that went. All of us went, wow, didn't see that coming. As far as his adultery, all the Perkins Pie ladies, all the stuff that came out, right? So right now, it's either one way or the other. He's either completely innocent or completely guilty.
Right.
And you can't go either way, right? As the smoke clears out, like I said with like the governor in New York, well, that's just tipping like this. So it's different.
It's just not looking good for him.
It's definitely not looking good.
More
no.
things come out. It doesn't, but to me, it wouldn't be surprising that I have to look into it, because I think there might be some shenanigans going on, not on his part.
Supposedly he told the masseuse, and you told me this.
Right. So according to the story that I was reading on ESPN, was that the masseuse said that she felt intimidated and scared of what he would do to her career when he said, I could make you or break you in this industry if she did not perform oral sex. But I also just want to make a very, very clear point real quick. DMac, you said the Tiger Woods story, like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods
these
were all willing cases with Tiger Woods.
I mean,
Tiger Woods wasn't being accused of sexual
I'm talking
assault.
as far as we all thinking Tiger was this one person straight and narrow and whatever, and then all of a sudden it came out.
Yes.
Right? The fact that, oh my God, he's not who he said he was. And is that not the biggest, pull the wool over our eyes? For me, it was. So what I'm saying is, but here's the thing, like you said, this comes down to a character. So I would go to say, who knows Deshaun Watson's character? Would that come out of his mouth? Would he be the type of guy to say, I can make or break your career to a girl?
Right. That's
I know
the thing.
those guys that would. I know those guys that wouldn't. Right, I'm not one that would do that, because it's not that is, but I do know people that would do that.
But you also have, his former teammates like J.J. Watt, who says, sorry we wasted a year of your career. Like, you would think that people don't think he's like that. Art, what do you say? ¿Te gusta o no me gusta?
I find myself agreeing with DMac on a lot of segments, and it's not because of the conspiracy thing. It's because he's had so many problems for that team, and now years later this is coming out. Mm-hmm. It's just so weird to me how that just magically happened. Now, am I saying that the masseuses, the massage artists, that they were, they should have never said anything? No, it's just, I can't go deal or no deal on this, and this is the first time that I'm saying this. I'm in the middle. I don't know what to believe anymore.
No more massage.
No more massage.
That's what it comes down to.
But I think this is one that, can we put this one on hold and come back to it? Is there a deal or no
there'll
deal
probably be a
shelf?
fourth one tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying. But Pilar, can we shelf? Did Harry shelf any of them?
No. You either take the deal or you don't take the deal, or you walk away with a lot of money, you don't walk away with anything. But I don't think that this is going to be the last time we're going to be talking about this, because I do believe that we are going to be hearing more women coming up. And I just wish when something happens, people would say it right away. Don't worry about your career. Worry about you, and worry about what's right and what's wrong.
Yeah.
Fish, are you te gusta o no te gusta? You like this or you don't like this?
No me gusta. I do not like this.
Yeah.
I think, Deshaun Watson's apology sounds sincere, so hopefully he's right.
Well, but Deshaun Watson is actually saying he didn't do this, and he said
That's
he's not going to take.
That's what we're saying.
He's not going to take his.
This comes down to character, and this doesn't. So I'm not seeing this as that type of guy. That's why I said unless it's like a wolf, like a Tiger Woods wolf in sheep's clothing, as far as whatever. But to me, it's
Stay tuned. More tomorrow.
Yes, more tomorrow.
As the wheel turns.
Hopefully there will be no more cases, and hopefully this is the end of it. But let us know your thoughts.
Conspiracy.
Do you smell conspiracy here? Let us know your thoughts on our social media at Woodward Sports. All right, we need to move on. Let's get to DMacs Bad Beats.
Bad beats of the night. Oh my gosh. For all you wrestling fans, Pilar, I got to say that this was epic matchup for any of yous out there who used to watch wrestling back in the day and know Mick Foley, Terry Funk, all these barbed wire tax matches. Well, last night on AEW, Thunder Rosa, who would say we'd be like the Macho Man of the luchadors and of the Mexicans and whatever.
Yes.
You'll see her painted up here. And Dr. Britt Baker are in a all-out. There's tacks on the ground. These are women. She power bombs them into the tacks. Now the best part is these are two of the best. This feud's been going on forever, so you can see in Latino. That's Thunder Rosa. So she's got the Tijuana. I brought this up for you.
Doctor?
But here's the thing. All these tacks, they're real. They've already power slammed each other through the tables, through off the top rope, this and that. You'll watch Dr. Britt Baker here go for her finishes. Now Dr. Britt Baker, the one who's bleeding all over, not in the green, the other one, is a DMD. She practices dental medicine. She's one of the best heels. Watch, she goes for her. This is brilliant because the storyline, she goes for her, whatever her move, but watch Thunder Rosa, how she gets out of it. She rolls her back into the thumbtacks. So I wanted to show you this because this is being rated as a 5 to 6 star match, one of the most intense hardcore women's matches ever. It was the AEW final match of the night or whatever, and when I saw Mick Foley give a thumbs up to that was freaking awesome. That was for you because your girl won, but it's also too as these girls are nuts, and I thought I'd introduce. So I was watching. I was trying to do heritage. I was trying to learn some. My favorite wrestler is Penta El Zero Miedo. That's his name.
Okay.
And he's a luchador.
I'm not even sure what I just saw there. This was like torture.
No, they were wrestling.
The evolution
they had a year and a half storyline to hating each other.
The evolution of wrestling has just gone so far now, I feel like.
I'm starting to dig this wrestling better than the WWE.
No, that was brutal. I mean,
it's all about the storylines and different things like that. So, like I said, it's a corporation to whatever else. But this is the thing, right? If you watch the after show and whatever, when they come to the back, it's so excited because they pulled off a historic thing where all the wrestlers are to congratulate them. They're hugging each other because they're performers. And the fact that they put it out on the line and then they extended the storyline, they both made them look great and is awesome.
Oh my, that's quite the performance. All right, we are almost up against the clock, but DMac, I want to get to your name that teammate. And also, I want to let our social media know we are getting the tweets, and I'm going to address some of them tomorrow because we are up against the clock. But keep tweeting us the stories that you want to hear about at Woodward Sports. But I'm seeing them. We're going to give them to him tomorrow. So.
Who do you want, Maz? Who we got today?
Oh, we got my guy, man. I love this guy. It is Martin Lapointe, number 20.
Number 20, Martin Lapointe, also known as the Bulldog, right? His nickname was the Bulldog. He had a Bulldog tattoo, but he was built like a Bulldog. Now, the best part, first-round draft choice, came in 91. He was drafted a year before me, and he was sort of up. But the best part is when Marty and I, so we had Dino Cicerelli as a right winger that showed us our first couple of years and stuff like this. But when Brendan Shanahan got there, because Marty, the thing with Marty is he would play the top line, top two lines, stuff like this, power play, and he was tough and he was strong, one of the strongest human beings. I think he did his body weight like 35 times, like 220 pounds, 35 times in training camp. But the whole thing with Martin Lapointe is that he would take care of playing with a lot of the top guys, and I would do all the heavy lifting and the work. But the fact that we both learned from Brendan Shanahan is a great thing. To this day, Martin Lapointe is still in the best shape ever. If we see him at the alumni games and stuff, he's a scout for the Chicago Blackhawks.
He left us for Montreal.
Or the Montreal Canadiens. They're the developmental guys. So what a great teammate. Always look forward to seeing him every time. And gosh, could he could score. He could shoot the puck. That's
Down
Prater.
goes
He deserves
Frazier.
it.
Kevin, I want you to know I have your tweet right here. We will get to the Shanny story tomorrow. I will have that
I
one
tell her Shanny
in the books. In the books.
Yeah, Shanny did
All right.
that. Yeah, that's called the veteran move. As far as when we used to, when we have cuts on our faces, leave the scab so I can pick it up if the stick didn't get us. I was explaining to Pilar
Is that
earlier.
cheating?
Gross.
Is it cheating
No,
or
that's
ingenious?
we call that the veteran.
All right, so let us get to our Who You Like. DMac, who you like tonight?
Told you it's the Wings, baby. They're coming out strong. Take them +1.5 and take them straight up. This is a 5-1 game tonight, Maz. If I'm going to book one, it's this one right now.
Yeah, if you say so. I'm
All
rooting
right,
for them,
Maz.
though.
Who you like?
I like the Spartans tonight against UCLA. Give the 2 points. They will advance, and they will beat BYU on Saturday night. And I'm giving this one to Jay Adams because I screwed him last night with the Pacers. Take the Pelicans tonight, +1 against the Blazers. Blazers came back from 18 down the other night. It take Damian Lillard 50 points to beat them. Pelicans and Zion tonight.
All right. Who you got?
Stole both of my picks. Both DMac had my
I
first
told
pick.
you earlier I was picking that.
And Maz had my second
Maz,
pick.
you're almost my bad. You almost made the bad beat of the day.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so you know what?
Yes.
I'm going to agree with DMac's pick. I
Thank
think,
you.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fish, you got mine and you got yours because people love the picks that you're making for me.
Yes, I do. All right, I'm going. I'll do my pick first. I'm going Warriors. They're at home / not at home. They're in Australia due to COVID. They're playing the Knights. That's my pick. Warriors over Knights, and then your pick is the Broncos over. I'm taking the spread in this one. Broncos +7.5 over the Titans.
And what sport is this in? Because you say Broncos, the Denver Broncos are not playing tonight.
And the Warriors
so
are Golden State
Yes,
to me.
I mean,
don't know.
Yeah.
what sport is this? Is this Australian football?
No, it is rugby.
Rugby.
Although they call it
Fish,
football.
Listen, next time Pilar tells you that people like your picks, that you're supposed to say that's because they like winners. Here are my picks of the night.
Oh, but they
Well, I was
Yeah,
hoping to give
no,
Pilar a good
chivalry
pick.
has not died
and
with you, Fish. Don't listen
do.
to
They
me.
do. All right, my friends, that will do it for us. Thanks so much to Tim McCormick and Brady Leavold for joining us today. And thank you guys so much for joining in on the conversations on all of our social medias. Keep them going at Woodward Sports. And, of course, keep downloading the app on Android and Apple, Woodward Sports Network. For DMac, for Maz, for Fish, and for Art, I'm Pilar Lastra. See y'all tomorrow.